Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime News. I'm Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Caroline Joroge. Now, among the stories that we shall be taking a look at include the UDA ODM meeting that occurred in Naivasha, which was a consultative forum with leaders within the broad-based arrangement led by President William Ruto. And we shall be bringing you that report later on. Now, police in Nandi County are calling for a new approach in the fight against illicit alcohol, saying arrest and seizures alone may not end the trade unless the economic reasons driving people into the business are addressed. County Police Commander Samuel Mukusi says those involved in making and selling illicit brews should be equipped with financial and entrepreneurship skills to enable them to pursue legitimate sources of income after serving their sentences. Mukusi spoke at Chepkumia Police Station in Nandi Central Sub-County after police arrested 9 suspects and recovered more than 160 litres of changa and 100 litres of kangaras. He says investigations are now focusing not only on the illegal trade but also on understanding what drives people into the business and providing sustainable alternatives.
Ku reach out to wananchi kwamba tutafute namna mbadala kufanya biashara ya changa. Nashukuru serikali kwa sababu serikali imekuwa ikifanya empowerment programs across the country, and I will have wished that wale, kwa sababu kuna chiefs hapa, wale ambao wanajihusisha na pombe ya changa na mihadarati, we reach out to them after having gone to court and our line tuongeleshe, then we see how we can be able to help them so that as the government moves around to empower the youth, the less fortunate people in the society, watafutiwe namna kufanya biashara mzuri kuliko kujihusisha na hii maneno ya pombe haramu.
Communities living in Tana River County have been challenged to reject ethnic and religious divisions and prioritize peaceful coexistence to enhance the growth of the region. This message dominated a peace-building football tournament in the County. National Police Service Commission Chairperson Dr. Amani Kamora said peaceful coexistence was crucial in building a stable and prosperous region, which is home to diverse cultures. The call to action comes as security agencies in the county intensify disarmament operations in the region following a surge in fatal interclan clashes and reported illegal possession of firearms. According to authorities, more than 100 illegal firearms have already been surrendered to the police as the exercise gains momentum.
Kwa umoja, upendo na amani.
Gazeti hii mkozaliwa nini mkalelewa nini? Inanifurahisha gazeti ni sehemu ambayo inapenda amani. Maana hata gazeti haina masuala ya dini kamishna. Haina. Sisi leo Mkristo anazika Muislamu, Muislamu anazika Mkristo. Hivi ndivyo tunaishi hapa. Kwa hivyo sisi tunachoomba kwa sababu hii ya leo amani idumishwe.
In other news, an initiative aimed at recognizing and certifying members of the clergy with technical skills and expertise under the Recognition of Prior Learning program has been launched in Kiambu County. The Association of Pentecostal Vocational Training Institutions of Kenya says the move to recognize prior learning among pastors, chaplains, evangelists and other Christian ministry practitioners will help address concerns over unqualified or quirk ministers serving in religious institutions. Church ministers seeking formal certification and undergo training at St. Paul University of Theological Studies.
I believe that it will eradicate those ministers, those quack ministers, because they have not been doing it for any good. It's either for monetary gains and those kind of stuff. But if you have been calling and you have been called and you have a call, automatically then when you come before the panel, they will be able to assess your summons, they will be able to assess the capacity that you carry, and from that they will be able to give you a certificate based on what you have already qualified. You are qualified to.
People that are going to be assessed under the RPL must go through TVET accredited institutions, and the assessors must be accredited by TVET, because that is a state department that is currently in charge of the RPL in the Christian ministry.
A group of women in Mathare informal settlement have embarked on an ambitious sensitization campaign on climate justice with a focus on informal settlements. Speaking during a sensitization campaign in Mathare, the group's coordinator Dorcas Nyamanya said they are targeting women and youth who remain the most vulnerable to climate shocks. Nyamanya revealed that informal settlements have been neglected in climate awareness initiatives, calling on relevant authorities and stakeholders to join hands in advancing the climate action agenda. Further, they are advocating to leverage sports as a key mobilization tool to accelerate awareness and drive engagement on climate change solutions and informal settlements.
Climate change is not gender neutral, and that is why we are here to give our voices in terms of how women and men are differently affected by climate change. We are here to sensitize ourselves about gender and climate justice issues in terms of what can we do as the community, and how can we be able to hold our leadership also accountable in terms of having interventions that are inclusive.
We are inculcating sports for development so that sports can act as a platform for us, awareness platform for climate change. We target the youths, we target young women, we target social entrepreneurs, and we hope to work together with them throughout this period.
We are working in waste recovery and circular economy. And this platform here, or through sports, it's actually creating awareness to the community on how they can actually rethink or on how they handle their waste.
Indigenous women from across Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands are calling for formal recognition and equipping of traditional birth attendants to enhance maternal health and reduce child deaths. According to the women, traditional birth attendants remain critical in promoting maternal health care in remote communities. The Indigenous Women Council Governor Janice Meriwes says many women in marginalized areas continue to operate without adequate support due to inadequate health facilities, limiting access to health care.
Sometimes women, because of their culture, they feel very uncomfortable because of the language, and because when they go to the facility, they are comfortable if they can give birth to the environment where they are in. And a good example is already we've started in Samburu County, where just next to the health center, we are supporting Indigenous women just to make a hut, and it is equipped with all medicine.
Any development, conservation, climate, mining, infrastructure or investment initiative affecting Indigenous territories must ensure meaningful participation, transparency, fair benefit sharing, and respect for free, prior and informed consent.
We call for formal recognition and support for Indigenous traditional midwives and their contribution to maternal and reproductive health. We demand culturally appropriate health services, stronger referral systems between traditional midwives and health facilities.
Now, Maendeleo ya Wanawake Organization Chairperson Rahab Muye has urged women not to shy away from early screening for cervical and breast cancer to increase their chances. of early diagnosis and treatment. Moya observed that once diagnosed, chances of treatment and survival are enhanced. She was speaking at Ria Canal village in Embu County during a memorial service for her younger sister Isabella Moroki, who passed away while undergoing cancer treatment for over a year. She also encouraged men to go for prostate cancer screening regularly.
We need early screening for breast cancer and for cervical cancer. And with a lot of pain and love, I want to use my own sister. The journey we have walked for 1 year between Nairobi Hospital and Mpisha, it's not been a cheap journey. And I want to say it is very expensive to treat cancer. And I also want to comment, SHA has been able to pay some money for us. So I want to say it is positive, because something like 400,000 was paid by SHA. And I want to thank the government, the president, for that initiative. Let us not politicize everything. We are a case study that it worked for our baby sister Isabella.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Now from Health Matters, President William Ruto says the broad-based government is firmly positioned to win the 2027 general election, saying the opposition has proven itself lacking in both strategy and unity. Speaking in Naivasha during a consultative forum with leaders within the broad-based arrangement, the head of state took a swipe at the opposition, describing them as a disjointed alternative with no clear vision for the country. He urged government-aligned allies to capitalize on the visible rifts within the opposition to sell their agenda and focus on delivering their promises to Kenyans.
By God's grace, we must win the next election. Inshallah, we must win the next election. Not for your sake, for the sake of Kenya. Because the alternative is difficult to fathom. You know, a group of people who have no plan, no agenda, no policy, no vision is too dangerous for Kenya. And so I want to ask you with whole humility that we must bear with one another.
Hii broad-based, Mheshimiwa Rais, imetusaidia sana, imeturahisishia kazi ya siasa na hata kazi ya kukusaidia kuendesha serikali ambayo unaongoza. Kwa hivyo, I think I'll be in order kusema ya kwamba hii broad-based ni fire sana.
If you are not with us, you are not with us. If you are with us, you are with us. And let's speak very, very frankly. We are not getting it as outsiders sitting to listen. Now, let President Ruto tell us what he has done and what he has not done. We have also been participating in doing.
The Central Organization of Trade Union Secretary General Francis Atwoli has accused a section of security officers and top government officials of leaking confidential government information, warning that the trend risks undermining critical state operations. Speaking at St. Francis Mawego Catholic Church in Karachonyo constituency, Atwoli specifically faulted the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for using the leaked information to undermine government operations. He called for an immediate cleanup in the public service and decisive action to be taken against officers found to have disseminated government confidential information. The unionist also launched a scathing attack on the Linda Mwananchi political faction, accusing the team of receiving funding from unnamed individuals to sow divisions and mislead the lawyer community.
Because he misuses that information. Na anafanya wapana katika polisi vijana wetu wafutwe kazi. Sisi huwa tunapata information kutoka kwa polisi, lakini tunapeleka mahali inatakikana, utangazi kwa mkutano, Ndugu na polisi fulani, kitu fulani kitafanyika. Hasa huyo kijana anaitwa Sifuna, yeye ndiye aliandika agreement ya mkataba kati ya chama cha ODM na chama cha UDA. Leo hii amepatiwa hela chache na watu wengine wa kugawa jamii ya Kibaluya. Ndio kazi ya vijana ni kulinda nchi, lakini sio uongozi.
Now, Kenya and the People's Republic of China are seeking to deepen cooperation in youth and women empowerment programs through increased investments in the creative industry. The commitment came to the fore during the official unveiling of the second season of Sing for Africa in Nairobi, a music competition expected to bring together young participants from across Africa and China. The competition is set to provide young Kenyan women with a platform to showcase their talent and access new opportunities at the global stage.
Music, talent, and a window of new opportunities took center stage in Nairobi.
Even bolder.
As Kenya and China moved to strengthen their partnership, with young people and women emerging as major beneficiaries.
To a brand new chapter. Sing for Africa Season 2.
The occasion marking the official launch of the second season of Sing for Africa.
Africa, are you ready?
A historic music competition seeking to give young talents a bigger platform to showcase their abilities and pursue opportunities in the creative industry.
Programs like Sing for Africa not only highlight talent but also offer tangible pathways for young women and men to turn creative passion into sustainable livelihoods, cross-border collaboration, and social advocacy.
The competition is expected to bring together young participants from across Africa and China, helping them nurture talent and enable the youthful population to turn their creativity into careers.
Our vision is to ensure that we bring in mentors from the industry. We bring in stakeholders in the industry and in the country at large to come and talk to these girls, to come and empower these girls, so that by the time you get out of the boot camp, even if you're not walking out the ultimate winner, you still go home empowered and with something.
The Chinese delegation present at the same time challenged the youth to take advantage of the large population and the rapidly expanding digital space across China and Africa to expand their reach and showcase their creativity.
In Africa, over 400 million people are between 15 and 35. It's the youngest continent on Earth. In China, 1.06 billion people use short video apps. These platforms are part of everyday life now, and hundreds of millions of young people are on them, saying hello to the world.
The partnership also extended to institutions of higher learning, with the University of Nairobi and Rongo University inking partnership with their Chinese counterparts to strengthen cooperation in education and people-to-people exchanges. The initiative comes as Africa and the People's Republic of China mark 70 years of friendship, cooperation, and a shared vision, with both sides seeking to strengthen ties through education, culture, and youth empowerment. John Kahiro for Lunchtime News.
For Africa Season 2, coming soon.
Well, we now take a short break here on Lunchtime News. When we return, we will bring you more stories and latest developments from across the country.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Do you save for retirement?
Kwani mimi ni mzee? I'm still young and I've got plenty of time to start saving later. Then again, si watu wa jua kali, hatunanga hizo ma pension plans.
Kwani ujui unaweza register with an individual pension plan yenye iko regulated na RBA?
Inawakaje?
Una deposit any amount of money at any time na uko guaranteed ukikuwa mzee. Maisha yako itakuwa nywe.
Baadaye vile nakushauri ni ukweli. Hadi mimi nili boost savings zangu kwa scheme yetu ya job.
Really?
Nilijua siwezi kuwa kijana forever. Sis, usikose kujipanga mapema. Tutakuwa wazee wa maana.
Ebu nionyesheni kuwa mzee wa maana.
Ensure you save and plan for your retirement during your youthful working days. Provided you are earning an income, you can join a retirement benefit scheme registered by Retirement Benefits Authority and safeguard your tomorrow. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Gina! Akia watoto wa siku hizi wakiwa nasumbua. Usikose kuona Gundu KBC Channel 1 every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Ujionee hivi vituko vya watoto wa siku hizi wanaosumbua wazazi na mengine mengi. Keep it Gundu. Gina!
Wananiita Gundu, wakita wengine wata.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. Now we take a look at the political arena where the United Democratic Alliance UDA has intensified grassroots registration and mobilization campaigns across Busia County as the party seeks to strengthen its support base ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking after meeting party delegates, UDA Busia County Chair Maurice Chetambe said the party is targeting new members through grassroots recruitment drives with local leaders and supporters engaging residents at the ward and village levels. Here are more details on what is transpiring in the political space.
UDA officials says the party's grassroots strategy will be key in expanding the party's presence in the county, traditionally considered as an opposition stronghold.
Na sisi tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutarudi mashinani. Na tuhakikisha kwamba tunaendelea kurecruit members wetu wa chama na tutasensitize kuhakikisha kwamba kila mmoja amejua ya kwamba umuhimu ya kupigia William Samoei Ruto kura kwa mara ya pili.
We are preaching unity so that sisi tufanye kazi kama we are saying we want you on ground. Tunataka tukiongea lugha ya chama cha UDA, tunaongea kama nyumba.
This comes as Public Service, Human Capital Development and Special Programs Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku challenged the Kiama Council of Elders to distance itself from what he says is DCP leader Rigathi Gachagwa's tribal balkanization.
Aheshimu viongozi wetu wa taifa. Aheshimu vile wazee wa Njolinjeke walisema. Awaheshimu jameni. Na kama hata waheshimu, sisi tuko tayari kumuonyesha kwa kura yetu hadi tuko na imani na serikali na mheshimiwa kiongozi wa taifa.
Elsewhere, members of the Wiper Party in Laikipia County have rallied behind their party leader Kalonzo Musyoka to be the presidential flag bearer of a united opposition the next poll.
Maneno na zoning sisi hatutaki. Tunataka vyama vyote ambavyo ni vya united opposition wasimamishe candidate zao ili angalau tuweze kupigana tukiwa wengi.
Kwa hivyo tunawahimiza aspirant wote ambao wangetaka kusimama katika tiketi ya Wiper, muje, huu ndio wakati, na party leader ametuansure ya kwamba all the aspirant ya kwamba tutakuwa na free and fair nomination katika uchaguzi ambao unakuja.
The members described Kalonzo as the most experienced leader to steer the country, citing his tenure as the vice president. And DCP Deputy Party Leader Cleophas Malala says Western Kenya has an opportunity to influence the outcome of 2027 presidential election if the region leaders and residents consolidate the region.
Jamii, hallelujah. And today this is my message. Kwamba hatuwezi kuwa rais bila kuwa na uhusiano na majamii zingine. Mkiona nimelenga mahali, mjue nimesoma sana hiyo siasa.
Michael Mundiga for Lunchtime News.
Kakamega Governor Fernandes Barasa has queried the methodology used by the Senate to rank counties on fiscal performance, arguing that the current parameters do not accurately reflect the performance of county governments. Barasa, who chairs the Council of Governors Finance Committee, called for a review of the County Fiscal Performance Measurement Index. He argued counties operate under different circumstances and face unique social, economic and fiscal challenges which should be taken into account when assessing their performance.
There is no way you can say this governor is not performing just because ajalipa project ambayo imekamilika. There is no way you can say this governor is not performing kwa sababu on-source revenue iko chini. Kakamega is unique. Watu wakienda hospitali, they want waivers. Tunamaliza project ya Butere ilikamilika. The fact that we have not paid does not mean that the project is not there. So I totally disagree with that performance index because absorption is not the best measure of performance.
Acha nione tutame William Ruto.
Now, pastoralists from northern Kenya are pushing for a homegrown solution to address the perennial problem of cattle rustling and banditry, which persists despite the government's disarmament program. Speaking during this year's annual Camel Caravan event held in Wambiru County, pastoralist communities from northern Kenya called for local strategies to tackle the vice. Originally launched in 2013 to protect the fragile Awasongiro ecosystem, the caravan continues to preach peaceful coexistence as part of preparations to mark the global rangeland celebrations.
Siku ya leo tumekuja huku Samburu County, tuko siku ya 4. Tumekuja ili kutangaza amani, tuweze kuishi kwa pamoja.
Kama anaenda kuiba mali naiba, analeta nyayo mpaka mali nyayo napitia. Sisi wasee naamuka kufuata hiyo nyayo, kujua hiyo mtu jina, kuchukua hatua ya wasee.
Tunajaribu kuleta warani wale wanasosana wengine, tukakutanisha warani ya Pokot hapa, wa Somali, wa Samburu, Rantile na wale jamii nyingine. Tunajaribu kuongea mambo ya conflict vile tutasimamisha.
This is a discussion that is will be going on at the UNCCD in Mongolia, and this news from indigenous peoples will be taken for a discussion for input in the UNCCD.
Now, 3 suspects linked to the murder of Dr. Victoria Mutiso will remain in police custody for 30 days as detectives finalize investigations. The trio appeared in court as homicide detectives continue piecing together the events surrounding Dr. Mutiso's death. Additionally, the court directed the suspects to be detained at separate police stations as officers conduct forensic analysis and trace witnesses. The court has scheduled the formal plea taking for the 10th of September 2026. Now let's talk business. Construction of the Horn of Africa Gateway Development Project is already transforming lives and businesses along the corridor, with residents and investors reaping from the multi-billion shillings infrastructure project. The Isiolo Mandara Road, which is under construction, is stimulating investments ranging from small-scale family businesses to agricultural ventures as entrepreneurs anticipate increased trade, easier transportation and greater connectivity once the project is completed.
serikali ile maneno sasa, ile kitu wametuwekea ni barabara na kila kitu. Maendeleo mingi imekuja hapa Kachuru. Hatukuwa na maendeleo zamani. Tulikuwa tunashangaa tuko upande gani. Lakini saa hii serikali wametujua. Sasa barabara, basi yote imekuja. Haya magari kidogo yote inakuja, iko magari. Saa hii tukienda Isiolo hata 30 minutes tumalizangi, tunaenda na kurudi. Zamani tunaenda na tunarudi kesho.
Faida ile ambayo tunaona kwa hii njia ambayo inatengenezwa, wale watu ambao wanapita na njia hii wakiwa wanatoka pande ya Isiolo ama Garissa, wakipitia mahali hapa wananunua hizi nguo zangu. Na kuna wengine hata wanasimama hapa, kama ni simu mtu anasema awekewe kwa moto na anawekewa na zanjiwa analipa. Kwa hivyo na hata hao watu ambao wanatengeneza hii njia, hao watu wa Kenya wanatutengenezea soko hapa Ndomoru, wanatutengenezea shule na maji.
Most transporters like to hike the prices, but once the road is done, the competition will increase and these prices will also reduce.
Young innovators from arid and semi-arid regions are turning the challenges of drought and water scarcity into technological solutions. Students from the counties of Wajir and Marsabit have innovated tools that provide farmers with early drought warning systems, giving communities more time to prepare irrigation systems, manage limited water resources, and protect crops and livestock before the onset of drought.
For students in Kenya's arid and semi-arid lands, drought and water scarcity are everyday challenges. In Wajir, 2 students have developed an artificial intelligence system that could help communities prepare for drought before it strikes.
In many cases, farmers usually realize when there is a serious problem after the crops have already started drying up.
The system uses sensors to monitor weather and soil conditions before analyzing the data to predict drought risks.
An artificial intelligence model analyzes the data that was collected from soil moisture sensor, temperature and humidity sensor, soil moisture temperature and rainfall sensor. So all this data is analyzed. After analyzing the data, there will be a drought score.
In Marsabit, another team is using automation to tackle water scarcity and food production through a smart garden that controls irrigation and temperature.
It's more of a greenhouse and environmental protection built into one structure. So we wanted to solve the problem of, in Marsabit, we have arid climate. So it causes food scarcity in our county.
The innovations earned the 2 teams the top national honors, with the Wajir students set to represent Kenya at the BT Young Scientist and Technology exhibit in Dublin. The 9th exhibition brought together 308 finalists from 125 schools, with the students showcasing solutions to challenges in agriculture, climate resilience, health, and other areas.
This year was one of our biggest numbers in recent years at 308 students, but we want to get to over 500 students next year so that we have a very large exhibition.
Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, noodles and powder made from beans could be the next big products as the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization intensifies efforts to promote value addition of beans. Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization National Coordinator for Grains and Legumes, Dr. David Karanja, says the agency is keen on connecting bean farmers with processes to enhance value addition and grow their incomes.
Data shows Kenya produces about 650 tons of beans annually against a consumption of 750 tons. In addition, industries involved in the bean value addition import at least 200,000 metric tons of beans annually.
So tunakusudia karibu kaunti 12 sianze kujua mambo ya Waithera. Laikipia pia wamefanya testing, lakini sasa tunakusudia karibu wakulima 2,400 na kitu.
To scale production, the government is promoting proper agronomical practices and adoption of new high-yielding and disease-resistant varieties such as the Waithera variety.
We develop a variety called Waidera, we develop Angaza, and others which are climate resilient, but at the high yielding, high in iron, but at the same time good for the consumer, good for the farmer.
The training program, targeting 20,000 farmers from across counties of Nakuru, Nyeri, Nyandarua, Bomet and Elgeyo Marakwet, will involve best farming practices and aggregation. Dr. Karanja believes the Waithera bean variety could enable farmers harvest quality produce that can access the international market. Currently, a majority of Kenyan farm produce is facing difficulties accessing the European market over phytosanitary requirements. Regina Manyera reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Well, now we move to the interactive segment of the bulletin. For many entrepreneurs, success is not just about having a good product or enough capital. It is also about who you know and the opportunities those relationships create. We are joined by Anthony Njenga, co-executive director at BNI Nairobi South, to discuss how strategic business networking can help SMEs grow, access markets, and build sustainable partnerships. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Now, why has business networking become increasingly important for SMEs today?
One of the biggest challenges that SME face is, of course, budget. So networking becomes a supplement that will help the SME be able to get more market, because now with networking, you build relationships, and then those relationships give you business. So that's one of the reasons why it's important for networking for SMEs.
Perhaps how important are networks and market access compared to access to capital?
They're very important because one of the things, for example, like in BNI, we are in about 78 countries. And sometimes all you need to do is to make a call to somebody maybe in China, and they're importing something for you, and they import for you because you have a relationship. One of the things we usually invest in is what is called trust. So in networking, the first thing you do is build relationship, then build trust. When you build trust, money follows. Yes.
Perhaps what makes a business relationship commercially valuable?
The thing is, because of our nature, for example, like in BNI, we have chapters. One chapter sits with about maybe 25 or 30 or 40 people who have different businesses. They don't compete, they complement each other. So why it's valuable is because if for example, I'm in construction, I'm an architect, I'll be the same table with a contractor, I'll be the same table with an electrical contractor. So if I get business as an architect, then I'll be able to give it back, give some part of my business to the contractor, the electrical contractor, and then all of us benefit. Yes.
And as we talk about opportunities, perhaps how can an SME turn a networking conversation into an actual business opportunity?
One thing we say is that we have to show care. Whenever you go for a meeting, for example, or if you meet somebody, the first thing you need to do is to invest in them. So we show care. How can I be able to help you? That's one of our core values in BNI. We say, how can I be able to help you do business? What are you looking for? So once I connect with you based on me helping you, then you also connect with me by helping me. So we look at how can we invest in each other, and that's how the conversation becomes an investment.
Okay. And for entrepreneurs who say they are too busy to network, what are they missing?
Oh, they're missing opportunities, because we say there's something called a dumpers principle. Every human being has a potential giving you up to 150 connections. So if you're not networking, you're losing on connections that you probably can transact business. Yes. So it's important that you network so that you grow, because everybody has a connection. You probably have your mother or father who probably would be the one I'm looking for business. Yes.
And how can strategic partnerships help businesses overcome limited resources and competition?
Now, when you, for example, like I was giving an example of an architect, a contractor, a quantity surveyor, they're all in the same line. Now, what happens is when an architect gets a job, he passes down to a contractor, to a quantity surveyor, to an architect. So we are all sharing the same pie, and hence the money is rotates around ourselves. That's how it becomes effective, and you're able to grow yourself. Yes.
Perhaps what are the biggest networking mistakes entrepreneurs make?
One is if, for example, you go for a meeting with a card and you're dishing out cards expecting people to give you business. The other biggest mistake that people make is not follow up. I meet you for a meeting. We usually say there's a rule said it says it is when I meet you, I call you after 7 days, and I have a meeting with you in 30 days, not to get business from you, but to support you first. That's where now we go, and then we follow up on any referral you give me. For example, if you say, I'm giving you a connection to KCB, make sure I follow up and call KCB so I can be able to convert that business. Yeah, so follow-up is key, building relationship is key, building trust is key, and then also help investing in other people. Yes.
And how can an entrepreneur network effectively without simply trying to sell? How can they network effectively?
Yes, so one of the core values for networking is building long-term business relationship. So we first start with, one, you're building long-term business relationship. Two, you are investing in other people. So when I meet you, I want to find out how can I help you. Everybody has an issue. So if I ask you how can I help you, it shows care. Then three is to be able to not only say how can I help you, is to help you. If you tell me you're looking for a certain thing, I'll go out of my way to help you. So by that way, I'm investing more in you, and then in turn you invest in me. So that's how relationships work. Yes.
And can networking actually translate into measurable revenue?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Like just yesterday, I was doing my normal walk, and I met this gentleman who is in the importing space. And when we were walking, I asked him, "By the way, what do you do?" And the guy says he does imports. And I asked him, "But how can I be able to help you in your business?" He says he's struggling to clear his products in Mombasa. So I said, "But I can help you because I'm in the clearing and forwarding space." That way we have built connection, and that relationship will grow into something else. Yes.
And as we talk about measurable revenue, how should businesses measure its value?
In networking, what we say that, okay, for example, I'm in an organization called BNI. In the last 1 year, the number of business we've done in one month, actually, the last 1 month, we've done about 200 million in them with the BNI members. We have only 680 of us, but we've transacted business together. So we measure performance. So we measure if I go for a networking meeting, have I converted relationships, not business, first? Yes.
And what advice would you give an entrepreneur attending their first networking event?
Go there with the intention to build friendship, not business, friendship. Get to know people, because when you get to know people, that's when you invest. Tunasemaga pesa iko kwa watu, so you invest in, get to know people, then you'll be able to get the money. So don't go dishing cards and running around. Yes.
Now, or rather in your closing remarks, what is one networking habit every SME owner should adopt? One,
show care. And every time you go for a meeting, always ask the person you're meeting, how can I be of help to you? Invest in people more, and then in turn people invest in you. That's it, the secret to networking.
All right. Well, that was Anthony Jenga, the co-executive director at BNA Nairobi South. Thank you so much, sir.
You're most welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, we move on to other news, where Deneth Fernando of Australia won the 2026 World Youth Scrabble Championship, which Kenya was hosting for the first time in Nairobi, and culminated last evening, while Kenya missed out on individual overall podium silverware to Australia and the UK. Hosting the tournament was widely celebrated as a monumental structural success for Scrabble Kenya.
The 2026 World Youth Scrabble Championship, which Kenya hosted for the first time, culminated at Trademark Hotel, Nairobi.
This event raises the profile of Kenya as a Scrabble destination. Being a first, we were the first country in Africa to host the Westpac, the seniors in Scrabble in 2017. And today we've become the first country in Africa as well to host the World Youth Scrabble. So we are up there in terms of hosting and preference in this event continentally.
After the grueling 24-round main tournament, 3 players finished tied at the top of the leaderboard with identical 18-6 records. Ultimately, Deneth Fernando of Australia secured the world title on a tiebreaker due to his superior cumulative point spread. United Kingdom's Crispin Samuel finished second, while India's Suyash Manchali finished third. Taimur Wasim of Pakistan made tournament history at this event by clinching the Under-10 title, making him the first player ever to hold consecutive Under-8 and Under-10 world titles.
I started Scrabble playing from 4 years, then I'm now 8 years old. It has been 4 years that I have playing Scrabble every day.
It's very, very good and very tough. I mean, these kids are so more impressive than us. Like, they are so much intelligence.
Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
Eric Kiplinghouse and Millicent Jelimo emerged victorious in the men's and women's races, respectively, at the 4th edition of the Batika Uasin Gishu Half Marathon held in Eldoret. Kiplinghouse produced a strong performance to win the men's race in 1 hour, 1 minute, 7 seconds, while Kenneth Kiprono finished second in 1 hour, 1 minute, and 14 seconds. Gilbert Kipkoske completed the podium in 1 hour, 1 minute, 22 seconds. In the women's race, Jelimo crossed the finish line first in 1 hour, 10 minutes, 25 seconds, narrowly beating Tabitha Njeri, who finished second, and Viola Muneria Chemos, who finished third.
Ya leo haikuwa rahisi. Juu watu strong ndio walikuwa. So nilianzia nyuma kufika 4 kilometers nikafika mbele. Halafu nikafungulia tu na watu wenye walikuwa mbele. Hadi kilomita ya mwisho ndio nikatoka.
Ya leo haikuwa mbaya. Niling'ang'ana mpaka nikakuwa mshindi wa kwanza. Sijawahi kuwa mshindi lakini leo nimekuwa mshindi.
Kenya finished second overall at the 2026 World Athletics Under-20 Championship in Eugene, Oregon, after an impressive medal haul that saw the country emerge as Africa's top-performing nation. Team Kenya collected 11 medals, 4 gold, 3 silver and 4 bronze, finishing behind host the United States, who topped the standings with 24 medals. Kenya's strong performance was driven largely by its distance runners, with gold medals coming from Franklin Kibet, Emmanuel Kiprono, Wilson Chepkwech and Josephine Sembeo Manche. The 4 golds alongside 3 silver and 4 bronze medals secured Kenya's second place ahead of Italy, which finished third with 5 medals.
Nilikuwa najua nitaenda nayo juu training ile makojes hapo kambi Kasarani wametupigisha, imekuwa mzuri sana na mpaka naona mwili yangu ilikuwa mzuri, nimekimbia nikaona si mbaya.
Ni joto sana kulinganisha na Kenya, lakini mimi nimejaribu kwa siku ya leo. Mimi nashukuru kabisa, nimejaribu, nimeng'ang'ana yangu yote, nimejaribu kabisa.
I wish one day nikutana na Phil kwa race, nikimbia na yeye, ni Phil Kenyatta na Ligi. Yeah. Kama inawezekana naweza mshinda ni sawa, akinishinda itakuwa amenipia motisha. Challenge kutoka 600, kila mtu akang'ang'ana juu, kila mmoja alikuwa anataka kuwin race.
It's not easy for the kama World Under-20 na uende na silver. Haria ikanisumbua kidogo, lakini nikaenda mpaka mahali nikasema mpaka ni nang'ane hii nipate medal, so nimepeleka medal West Pokot.
Malawi completed one of the greatest stories in the history of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations by defeating Ghana 2-1 to secure a historic place in the semi-finals and qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup Brazil 2027 for the first time. Meanwhile, Cameroon edged defending champions Nigeria 1-0 in a fiercely contested quarter-final to secure their place in the last 4 and qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup Brazil 2027. Cameroon scored the lone goal in the 19th minute through Miriam Maeve.
Being given instructions
That's nice. Katseri in behind for Malawi. Oh, it's dreamland for the Scorchers, who lead Ghana with less than 20 minutes to go. Are the WAFCON debutants Women's World Cup bound? She just ghosted through, and didn't she take it well? Her second of the tournament, Rose Katseri, will she ever score?
Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Our sign language interpreter is Caroline Joroge. I'm Jackie Wambiru. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Get ready for a captivating continental football extravaganza. KBC Channel 1 brings you exclusive coverage of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON. From Sunday the 26th of July to Sunday the 16th of August 2026, welcome to Morocco! Morocco is the battleground as Nigeria defend their title against 15 other nations fighting to lift the prestigious trophy. Who will be crowned Queens of African Football? Courtesy of the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. Watch all the action unraveling on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Mate, nzuri sana. Kwani uone kama niko na kazi nafanya? Aliyokuambia ukae ni nani?
Ukisawa
Matrope.
Ani aje?
Wewe na kangalo blend. Naenda sasa vile tunataka kupanga.
Kazi ndo mabadu baba. Nilikuwa nimekuitisha chai na mkate. Huyu customer wako hapa ndani ulisikia akionda chakula ngani? Mimi bwana